Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to Atari ST A to Z, a series of short playthroughs of Atari ST games, some which I grew up with and some which are new to me. Today is one of the former. Today we're taking a look at Flying Shark, which was a 1988 release from Firebird, developed by Catalyst coders. It's a port of Toaplan and Taito's 1987 arcade machine and the prequel to Fire Shark. It was fairly well regarded at the time of its original release. The One magazine noted that while the ST version was not 100% faithful to the coin-op in terms of graphics and sound, and the fact that it used a horizontal display rather than the vertical tate mode of the arcade original was particularly highlighted, they said it was, I quote, a fairly accurate interpretation of a derivative but playable coin-op which drops on US Gold's conversion of 1943 from a few thousand feet. And the One magazine in their review also noted that while the flying shark in the game is a biplane, the real flying sharks were P-40 Kitty Hawks in World War II. And according to them, it was the 112 Squadron stationed in North Africa who were the first to adopt the distinctive shark's mouth decoration on their planes. So now you know. Who says video games never teach you anything? Let's go play Flying Shark. Okay, here we are with Flying Shark from Firebird, a port of the Toaplan and Taito arcade game. I remember quite liking this as a kid. It's one of the slightly better shoot-'em-ups on the Atari ST, I think. At the time it was released, looking back on the review from the One magazine in particular, they actually said that the ST didn't have that many shoot-'em-ups. And thinking about it, that might be true, because although we've seen a fair few of them on this series so far, the 16-bit era, as we've talked about a few times on previous installments of this series, it was very much a time when people started to get a bit snobby about traditional classic arcade genres. There was this kind of assumption that by the time we got to the 16-bit era, we should be better than shoot-'em-ups, we should be better than maze games where you run around picking up dots and stuff. And so I think certain developers were a bit hesitant to jump on board with classic genres like the shoot-'em-up. Whoops. Just for fear of being criticised for for not being up to date enough with the kind of games they were making. Give me the power up. There we go. Oh dear. This is not going very well, is it? Right, shoot the things that are shooting at me. That makes the most sense, doesn't it? There we go. Now grab the power up. Oh! This is really hard. Now, you will... Anyway, you will obviously notice that this pales in comparison to console versions, and indeed the original arcade version, in that it doesn't scroll particularly smoothly. The sprite movement isn't particularly smooth or anything like that. Oh. The actual controls are pretty good. Controls are nice and responsive for the most part. User competence leaves something to be desired, but that is beyond the game's control, I feel. I tried this out the other night and I got a long way on my first go. Why am I being so bad at this now? But yeah, one of the main criticisms people had of this particular version back in the day was that it used the full width of the ST screen, so rather than providing a sort of authentic fake tate view like the version of Ikari Warriors we saw a while back, you had this full width screen, because the original arcade version used a vertical tate mode display and it actually scrolled sideways as you moved left and right. And that was quite a distinctive aspect of that version's presentation. And some reviewers thought it was a bit of a shame that that was absent from this version. I mean, to be honest, that sort of thing never really occurred to me back in the day, because it always seemed like a bit of a waste of space when you had the whole screen available and you just used part of it. Because there was no one turning their ST monitor on its side to play Tate mode games like you can fairly easily with today's flat screen displays. And so if you could just go with a wide display, it kind of made sense to. And you'll notice that the position of the score and the high score is actually where it would be on a vertical Tate display anyway. So it's like they brought that into account. And just sort of assumed that people would probably rather have a full screen shoot 'em up on their Atari ST than something that was 100% true to the arcade original. I mean, your own feelings about that may vary, of course, but that was what I assume was the assumption at the time. Oh no, I moved straight into that bullet. I'm an idiot. An idiot of the highest order. The order of the golden idiot. That is the highest order of idiots it is possible to be part of. Right. Destroy the things, avoid the bullets, grab the thing, shoot the stuff, do not get shot by the thing, shoot the things before they shoot you. Don't worry about that thing, avoid the bullets, avoid all of the bullets. There we go, this is going better now, isn't it? You have bombs in this as well. I can't remember how you set them off. Is it spacebar? Yes, it is spacebar. Slightly awkward to press in the heat of battle, but, well, you do what you have to. Up to and including putting your keyboard on the floor, as I recall. Yeah, so I remember on more than one occasion there were games where the most practical thing to do was to put your keyboard on the floor so you could press the spacebar with your foot. Power up, give me more power, more bullets, bullets. Yes, now we're cooking. I was about to say we're approaching the high score, but no, we are not. We are a tenth of the high score. Oh no, many tanks. So yeah, this is not a bad ST shoot 'em up at all. The only real downside, like I say, is the slight sluggishness to it. The controls are not bad. The controls do start to feel a little bit sluggish when there's a lot happening on screen. But for the most part, they're... Damn it. For the most part, they're pretty responsive. No. I'm getting the hang of that though. Let's try again. We had a copy of this back in the day. I don't know what's happened to our copy of it, because it's not in my collection now, and now I think I have pretty much cleaned my parents out of all the Atari stuff we used to have, so I don't know what's happened to our version of it. Maybe we had to give it back, or maybe it got loaned to someone and never got returned, or something like that, but we certainly used to have a copy of this, but we don't anymore. But I definitely played this back in the day, and I remember liking it. Because, as I say, although there were some good shoot-em-ups on the Atari ST, and some of which we've seen on this series already, things like Blood Money, and we haven't seen Gold Runner yet, but Gold Runner is another good one. I remember playing this and thinking, oh, this is fun. And we don't actually see this sort of game that often these days. Obviously, the shoot 'em up has made something of a glorious comeback these days. And we have easy and ready access to arcade perfect and even versions that are better than the arcade original in some cases today, which might make ports like this look a little bit laughable in comparison, but you know, it's a part of gaming history. And one of the most peculiar things about this is the fact that this was published by Firebird. Now, if you're not familiar with Firebird, Firebird was a branch of British Telecom, who were our national telecommunications provider at the time. So it was a strange and wonderful time where the nationalised telecommunications company decided that, oh, it might be fun if we released some video games. So they did. And so all the Firebird, Silverbird, Rainbird games on those labels, all of those labels were part of Telecomsoft, who were part of British Telecom. And so yes, basically, this game was from the same people who provided your phone service. It's not quite that simple, obviously, but in essence, that's correct. I was about to say imagine that today, but I guess that's not actually too much of a stretch, is it really? When you think about like Apple publishing stuff, which they have done. Think about Microsoft and Amazon publishing stuff. It's not so far-fetched these days. I just find it quite amusing in retrospect. Right, come on. Avoid the bullets. Shoot the things before they make bullets. This is very much a game where learning the enemy attack patterns is a huge benefit, as you can probably tell. I think the other thing you really need to get your head around in this version is not taking too much of a risk. I mean, like, risk versus reward is a critical part of arcade game design. But in this, it actually feels like you're... Oh no, I missed the power up. In this, it actually feels like you're best off minimizing the risk yourself as much as possible. So, if there's an opportunity for a risky shot coming up, it's normally in your interest to maybe not take it. And focus on taking the shots that you can do safely and getting the power-ups and that sort of thing. Getting those formations of gold planes is quite important because that gives you 1,000 points every time you clear the entire formation. And obviously destroying things that are going to spew bullets at you is super important as well. No, 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 no! Oh. Ooh. Get out of here.
Nope. See what I mean? Risk. Just don't bother. It's not worth it. Curses! Game dash over. Right, let's have one more try at this, and then I think I'm shoot 'em up out for the day. That's not true. That's not true. I'll probably go and play something on Switch after this. Because it's nice to remind ourselves how far we've come sometimes. I say, this wasn't bad for the day. But compared to what we have ready access to today, on a variety of different platforms, yeah, it's interesting to put this in perspective. Oh no! So I started right before the power-up formation. And here, blow them up. Grab the thing! Don't get shot. Shoot the things, don't get shot. Shoot the things, don't get shot. Shoot the things, don't get shot. I think one issue with this is you can't just hold the fire button down. You have to keep tapping the fire button to shoot. And that makes it feel a bit more sluggish than it perhaps really is. I don't know. It definitely slows down a bit when there's a lot going on screen. You can probably see that. And that does affect the responsiveness of the controls just a little bit. Not a lot, not enough to make it unplayable or anything, but enough to be noticeable. Oh. Flew right into those. No! Did it again. The exact same thing again. Why? Why me? One more. It'd be nice to finish the first level. But then, this is a classic arcade game, so finishing the first level is by no means a guaranteed thing. Right, just concentrate on avoiding the bullets. We've talked about this. Avoid the bullets, shoot the things, avoid the bullets. That's all you need to do. Very simple, very straightforward. No! That is not avoiding the bullets. That is flying directly into the path of bullets. Yeah, actually, weirdly, the more I play this, the more oddly physically exhausting this is feeling to play for some reason. I think it's a combination of having to hammer the fire button and the slightly jerky scrolling is quite tiring to watch. And the slightly sluggish controls give the whole thing quite a sort of heavy feel. It's starting to feel like quite hard work in a weird sort of way. So yes, we'll definitely make this the last go, regardless of how well we do. Ugh, curses. Yes, you people complaining about 6 frames of input lag. You don't know you're born. And every bloody time. Right, there we go. It's even more galling to know that that bit I was repeatedly dying on there was actually just before the next power-up. Right, carefully. Carefully. Is this a bus? Are you telling me... Oh, this is too difficult. Have a bomb. There we go. I've done it! I finished the first level. Ooh, excuse me. Wiggling my slightly numb ass as we load the next level. It's nice that the music keeps playing while it's loading though. Right, what do we have to deal with this time then? This is exciting, new music. You know what, I don't think I've ever seen this bit before. Oh no! And that's it. Game over. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Oh dear. That is Flying Shark. So originally by Toaplan and Taito in the arcades. Ported to Atari ST by... I've forgotten the name of the ported company, but it may well come up on the credits in a moment. And published by Firebird. The programming by Henry S. Clark and Carl D. Jeffrey. Graphics by Jason G. Leho. And sound by JC Brook. You gonna give us any more info than that? Doesn't look that way. Anyway, Flying Shark for the Atari ST. That's that, I guess. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.